So stress is formally defined as the body-mind system's response to perceived threat. Now, I use the word perceived, and it's a very important part in the definition of stress, and we'll soon see more details why. But right now, I want you to pay extra attention to this word perceived, to just note the point that this is a response that kicks in, and nature designed it to kick in even before we're really sure that there is a real threat out there. Now, let's take an evolutionary perspective. So let's go back a couple of 100 years and look at how this response that would kick in even when there was a perceived danger could actually have been functional for us, right? So we're going to look at nature's design, and nature designed this stress response in us, and we're going to look at it, try and understand it, try and see what are the changes that occur in the body, what are the changes that occur in the mind when we switch into the stressed mode. And let's try and guess what was nature's intentions behind it, and how might they have been functional, how may they still be functional in certain contexts, in certain ways, and how, in which context, which ways, and under what boundary conditions can these responses actually be dysfunctional. Let's go back 100 years, 100 million years rather, and into the time of the caveman, and let's do a little role play like exercise. Okay, so let's imagine that me and another person, a good friend of mine, or maybe we can say Amit, who's my husband. So let's say the two of us are walking down a path in a jungle, and we see some movement in the bush nearby, right? So some rustle, and then we see some orangish, furish like thing, and Amit says, "Oh, that might be a tiger," and he runs away, okay? But I'm this professor, right? And as professors, we've been taught and ingrained, we think, you know, we don't get into black and white judgments about things. We try to think integratively, we try to think creatively, we try to look at a problem or a situation from all possible angles. And so I'm really analyzing, well, that need not really be a tiger. It could be a stuffed toy. It could be someone hiding there. It could be, you know, something that I've never seen before and something that I could explore. And I'm thinking all these things in the long run, right? And so I don't run away. And perhaps I even approach this. But in the long run, who do you think is likely to survive longer, right? Amit, right? So sooner or later, it's going to be a real tiger that's going to eat me up. So what was it? Yeah, so we're going to take this in steps now. What was it that helped Amit escape, which eventually helped him survive? And what was it that did not help me escape? Okay, that's the stress response. So something just snapped, clicked like this in Amit, and he said, oh, that could be a tiger, and he just ran away, and I didn't. So what was it that clicked? So I want you to think of this as moving from mode 1 to mode 2. So right, so you have your smartphones or your computers, and you see that there is an active mode, there's a sleep mode, there's a silent mode, there's a different mode. So think of it as Amit moved from one mode to another mode. This other mode is what we're going to call the stress mode, right? So he shifted into the stress mode, and that helped him escape. We're going to see what are the changes that happen as a result of that.